the glory of God. When we speak about the glory of God, we're talking about not just the name God, but the glory attached to the name, the greatness attached to the name. And the biblical word is glory. God's glory is the manifestation of his attributes, his characteristics. Is God on display? We talk about a basketball player being awesome or great or manifesting their glory on the court. We're talking about what they display. One of my favorite all-time basketball players was Dr. J. I love me some Julius Erving. And he got the name Dr. J was because of how he operated on the court. That's how he got the name doctor, how he operated. Many of you don't know this. I'll tell you this. I got to play Dr. J one-on-one. I did. I got to play. Now, I know you want to know what happened. Well, I just tell you this little story. We were at a conference, and they had break time. I was speaking, teaching at the conference, and I had a bunch of NBA guys there. And so, we kind of knew each other a little bit, and because being chaplain for the Mavericks and all that. And so, he wanted to just go work out, and I wanted to work out. So I said, let's do some one-on-one. Let's go one-on-one. And he said, all right, let's do that. Now, now, what surprised him, because he wasn't, he wasn't all over me and all of that. He's 6'6", I guess, 6'7", and he would let me shoot. And I was on that day. So I was hitting my shots. And we were playing to 11, and it was 10-9. I actually scored 9 points. Okay. Now I was shooting outside because he wouldn't let me drive, but I was hitting that day. So he just had to get 1 point. And on this last point that he needed, because I needed 2, and he just needed 1. He says, well, I tell you what, if let me go all the way to the corner and let me go uncontested. And if I miss the shot, then you right there under the basket, you can do, you can lay up, and then you'll get the ball back to try to win the game. Well, I thought that was pretty good because I couldn't really stop him if he drove. So I thought that would at least give me a little chance, So he went all the way to the corner, and I'm standing around the basket in case he misses, because that's my only chance. And what he does from the corner is he doesn't take what I thought he was going to do, shoot from the corner. He takes 2 steps and dunks with me standing under the basket like a fool. He made a fool out of me is what he did. All right. But he's my all-time basketball player, and because he had all these moves and everything, and so you think about greatness in their particular art form, skill set. When you look at God's skill set, the Bible says the heavens and earth declare the glory of God. God says, look at my skill set. Look at and the issue with his glory is that nobody can compete with it. Every other glorious person in whatever field them diminishes. Give them enough time, enough age, the fast ones get slower, they get injured, the winners start losing, because time catches up with them. So their glory is limited in time and space and to one area, because they're not glorious in everything. They're glorious in something. God is glorious, weighty, heavy, awesome in all the things that make him God, all of his attributes. God's glory is intrinsic glory, not merely ascribed glory. Let me say that again. God's glory, his weightiness, his awesomeness, his greatness is intrinsic, not merely ascribed. Now, what do I mean? When you go into a courtroom and the judge comes in, you ascribe glory to the judge, your honor. Because that robe and that bench and that seat has position tied to it. When a police person pulls you over, yes, officer, no, officer, because their blue uniform has an ascribed recognition based on the law to who they are. So you ascribe them glory. Now, take the robe off if you don't know them and they're dressed in ordinary clothes, they're another human being. But in that post, in that position, you ascribe glory. If they leave the position or pass away, the glory is not there. So we ascribe glory to people based on what they have done or are doing at the time they are doing it. God's glory is not merely ascribed, we do that when we worship him, but it is intrinsic. In other words, he is glorious whether you ascribe it or not. What hot is to fire, wet is to water, and blue is to sky, glory is to God. You don't make fire hot. You don't make the sky blue. And you don't make the water wet. That's how it is. Nothing you can do can interfere with that. So not giving God glory doesn't diminish his glory. Doesn't take away his glory. Doesn't limit his glory because it's built in. It's intrinsic to who he is. So if you don't give him glory, it's okay because he can give it to himself because it's built in. In Exodus 33, Exodus chapter 33, verse 17, the Lord said to Moses, I will also do this thing of which you have spoken. For you have found favor in my sight, and I have known you by name. Then Moses said, I pray you, show me your glory. And he said, I myself will make all my goodness pass before you, and will proclaim the name of the Lord before you. And I will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. But he said, you cannot see my face, for no man can see me and live. Then the Lord said, behold, there is a place by me, and you will stand there on the rock, and it will come about while my glory is passing by, that I will put you in the cleft of the rock and cover you with my hand until I pass by. Then I will take my hand away, and you will see my back, but my face shall not be seen. Moses makes a request. Show me your glory. Let me say it another way. I want to see more. Now, Moses had seen quite a bit. I mean, he had seen a bush that couldn't burn. He had seen the plagues in Egypt bring Pharaoh to his knees. Moses had seen the opening of the Red Sea. Moses had seen the mountain quake. So he had seen so much. He wanted to see more. More. Show me more. God tells him, I can't let you see me face to face because it will kill you. It will, no man can see my face and live. You can't see the inner core of me and survive it. Would be like going into a nuclear reactor and disintegrating. I mean, we complain when it gets over 100 in Texas. When it gets over 100 in Texas, we run to the air conditioning because we want to escape the heat of the sun. And God made the sun. It's been burning for thousands of years. Undiminished glory. That is light coming from the sun. And when it gets too bright in the middle of summer, we run from it because its glory is too hot. That would be the illustration of the glory of God. It is beyond comprehension. He says, my glory. You couldn't handle it in your own human limitations. But I'll let you see my back. Because that's all. And even to show you my back, I have to hide you in the cleft of a rock. I'm going to pass by. I'm going to cover the cleft with my hand until all you see are my hinder parts. The best way to explain that is all you're going to see is the exhaust. Have you ever looked up in heaven in the sky after a plane has passed by and you don't see the plane, but you see what the plane left behind? You see the exhaust. That's the concept here. You're not going to see me, you're going to see my back. You're going to see what I left behind. Now, what he left behind was the Pentateuch. First 5 books of the Old Testament, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. Moses was able to write the first 5 books of the Bible through the exhaust. I'm going to let you see my history. That's how Moses could write Genesis, even though he wasn't there with Genesis. He could write Genesis because he saw the exhaust of God go by. Show me your glory. I want more. So guess why you're here? I'm here for his glory.